What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And boy, oh boy, we were blessed this week with Daredevil Born Again. They dropped not one, but two episodes, man. Episodes 5 and 6 have just come out. And all I gotta say is peak everywhere. This is absolute cinema, man. Absolute cinema. I mean, yeah, we're going to be doing an episode recap of episode 5 in this video. And I mean, I think I'll probably drop episode 6 tomorrow. So, I mean, let's get straight to this. Fair warning, there are spoilers ahead for Daredevil Born Again episode 5. So, you have been warned. But let's get straight into it, man. So, we start this episode off with Matt Murdock trying to get a loan at the bank. So he went to the bank to go get a loan for Murdock and McDuffie, the law firm that he and Kirsten run. And I mean, bro is not getting that loan. We find out that the bank manager who he was supposed to meet with did not show up to work that day. And he's greeted by the assistant bank manager. And you will not believe who it is Kamala Khan's father. And if you guys don't remember Kamala Khan, it is Miss Marvel. So I mean, that's kind of huge. I guess this episode basically is like something that like both these episodes, episode 5 and 6, basically connect Daredevil to the broader MCU universe, kind of, if you know what I mean. But anyways, yeah, we get like a scene between Matt and Kamala's father, Yusuf Khan, where he's just kind of talking about Kamala. He's like, yeah, she's such a great kid, and I'm from Jersey City, and like we have our very own superhero in Jersey City, Miss Marvel. And Matt's like, I don't know who that is. I've never heard of her. He's like, oh, you haven't heard of her? And he shows Matt a Funko Pop of her. And I mean, I guess Funko Pops are canon in Marvel now, so oh well. But yeah, he's like, Kamala is in California right now. And yeah, so I mean, is this a possible West Coast Avengers reference or a possible Young Avengers setup, Who knows? But yeah, Matt eventually dips because he doesn't get the loan because he's not eligible for it due to them not making enough revenue with the law firm, because they're technically, the whole thing with Murdock and McDuffie is that they take clients who can't really pay like a normal lawyer's fee, like they help the underprivileged. So with that money, they're not really eligible for a loan. So yeah, Matt basically just dips. And then we get to the bank. The bank, after Matt dips, like minutes later, Matt is like around the block. And the bank gets robbed by a bunch of Irish motherfuckers. Like, bro, please get better fits. I mean, these are some GTA outfits. Like, this is like some shit that me and the boys would be wearing in like our Diamond Casino heist. I mean, like, these fits are atrocious. I mean, holy shit. But yeah, Matt is walking off and he's on the phone with Heather. And he's like, yeah, we didn't get the loan and all. But Matt, he locks in, of course, with that super hearing. And he hears the bank getting robbed. So he's like, Kirsten, call the cops right now. And Matt runs to the bank. And we then get a shot of Matt just casually walking in. He just casually walks into the bank and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. What's going on in here? I was just here to get my money. And they're like, get the fuck on the ground, man. And this is a fucking robbery. And I mean, like, it's genuinely so funny that these robbers forgot to lock the door. Like, Matt literally just casually opened the door and just walked in. This shit was actually funny as fuck. But yeah, he starts trolling these dudes, and they start calling him a solicitor. And these guys hated Matt, of course. But yeah, we then see that the cops kind of surround the bank, and we see Detective Angie Kim. And she's like the negotiator for this like entire hostage situation. And she gets on the phone with the Irish guy, and he starts telling her, like, demands, he wants like 3 like armored cars or something. And she's like, who am I speaking to? And the guy's like, just call me Jesse James. And she's like, huh, Jesse James. That's kind of funny, huh? I mean, like, it's an interesting kind of reference to Jesse James. I mean, he was from New York and all. So, yeah, I mean, that's just like an interesting reference. But, anyways, she's like, send me out 2 hostages in good faith. Um, and I'll call in the armored cars, basically. So, we then get a scene with the the main guy. We'll call him Jesse James for now because that's what he wanted to be called, you know. But yeah, he's like, he tells his like goons to go out there, and he's like, go grab 2 guys and send them out. So they pick a random woman, and they pick Matt to be the 2 hostages that they send out to the cops. But the woman starts crying. She's like, no, can you please take my husband with me? And Matt is like, Matt realizes, and Matt's like, no, take the kind lady's husband with her. And they're like, what'd you say to me, you solicitor? And he's like, take the lady's husband with me, or with her. And Matt kind of goes into like his like life story. He's like, what's your name? And the robber's like, what's your name, sir? And he goes, Matthew Murdoch. And he's like, Irishman, yeah? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, I was an orphan. And the robber's like, what the fuck, man? We're keeping this guy just for pure jokes. So they sit Matt back down, and they take the woman and her husband, and they release them to the cops. I mean, this is a class act for Matt here in general. But yeah, I mean, the robbers then, they force Yusuf Khan, Kamala's father, to go down to the vault. And since he's the assistant manager, they're like, yeah, he can probably open the vault. But Matt realizes that Khan has just been bluffing this entire time, and that he actually does not know how to open up the vault. So Matt is like, when you get down there, just start stalling, and I'll try to come and help you later. So after they take Khan downstairs to the bottom floor to go to the vault, Matt starts trying to get down there. So Matt's like, sir, I really got to go to the bathroom, man. I got to take a shit. I got to take a shit. And he's like, oh my God. And this guy's like pissed, and he's like, yeah, just take him to the loo, man. And yeah, Matt goes down, and he starts taking him down the stairwell, and Matt beats the shit out of... Oh, hold up. Actually, hold up. We'll come back to that real quick. While Matt is telling that one robber that he wants to go to the bathroom, the guy points a shotgun straight at his forehead. Straight at Matt's forehead. I'll put a picture on the screen, right? This brother Matt, he does not flinch. This guy has pure aura farming. This entire show so far, actually. In the past in the 6 episodes of Daredevil Born Again, this motherfucker is just aura farming every single episode. Regardless of Daredevil costume or not, he's aura farming. But anyways, let's go back to what I was talking about earlier. So the guy takes Matt to the bathroom, and they're walking down the stairwell, and Matt, he sees this as a chance, and he beats up the robber. And yeah, so he goes down to the vault, and Kamala's father, Yusuf Khan, is just stalling. And he starts talking about, like, the history of this bank, is very old, and, it has a very, very significant history to it. And yeah, the guy realizes that he's actually bluffing. So he's like aiming down the sights. He's like, I'm about to put a bullet in your head if you don't open up that vault. And right then and there, Matt, hit him in the back of the head, and the guy goes down. So Matt then uses his super senses with his ears, and he's like, I can open up the vault. So he opens up the locker. Not the locker, the lock combinations, because he can hear the individual clicks when the locks hit the right number. So, anyways, yeah, Matt gets into the vault, and there's no money in the vault. Khan and Matt, they both realize that there's nothing in the vault. There's just a bunch of security deposit boxes. So, they find out that one of the robbers actually had a key. So, all they have to do is kind of just go through each locker and check if the key works. So while they're doing that, upstairs, Matt can hear that the cops are getting impatient. The cops are getting impatient out there that the hostage situation is not getting resolved anytime soon. So the cops are like, fuck it, we're about to go in. We're sending in SWAT. And yeah, Matt is like, let's hurry it up here. Let's hurry it up. And okay, also on top of that, while this is going down, the main guy, you remember Jesse James, the main Irishman guy? He calls down to the robber who was supposed to take Yusuf Khan to open the vault. He calls him on the walkie-talkie. He's like, "Is everything good down there?" And Matt takes the walkie-talkie and he tries to respond. And I mean, this was genuinely a funny scene where Matt starts doing an Irish accent. I mean, seeing a British actor play an American character, and then seeing that American guy play an Irish guy in the same show is genuinely such a funny scene. I mean, Charlie Cox had a pretty decent accent here in the scene. But yeah, anyways, Kamala Khan and Matt are just kind of talking, and they eventually end up finding the right locker. And the key fits in, and they open up the locker, and they don't really find anything too special until they see a diamond. It is a orangish, yellowish diamond. I mean, like, this thing is shiny, man. This thing is definitely worth a pretty penny for sure. But anyways, yeah, then Matt hears the cops are lining up outside getting ready to breach. So he's like, we gotta get upstairs right now. So they end up upstairs, and Matt starts talking to the robber. He's like, I know that you guys don't really want to kill anyone in this whole scenario here. I mean, you guys are better than that. And he starts like kind of like talking and stuff. He's like, you know what? I'm going to shoot you right here. And Matt is like, no. And he tosses the diamond in the air. Sorry about that. But yeah, he tosses the diamond in the air. And right as soon as that happens, the cops burst in and start throwing smoke bombs and shit everywhere. And oh my god, I mean, like, there's like a kind of like a gunfight going on, and they start arresting the robbers. And even Matt starts getting licks in. Like, he literally slams a dude's head on the pillar. I mean, this brother Matt, he is fiending for a fight, But yeah, I mean, basically the robbers are all dealt with. But Matt, once again, with that super senses, he locks in. He hears that the main guy, Jesse James guy, he decides to put on a police officer uniform and go undercover. And the guy just kind of walks out of the building. And apparently, this was an inside job the entire time. The entire bank heist apparently was an inside job. Some random bank worker woman, he hands her the diamond, and she's like, get it to the boss. And they kind of do like the old switcheroo, and they kind of leave. They split ways. And Matt knows this. Matt locks in with his super senses. And I mean, what happens next is crazy. Matt chases this guy down. He chases him down. And he literally beats the living shit out of this guy. Like, okay. I mean, like, this brother Matt without Daredevil, he's been fiending for fights. I mean, like, literally the past couple of episodes, even without Daredevil, we're seeing some crazy-ass fight scenes, And I mean, oh my god, it got to the point, like, Matt fucking snaps this guy's leg. He jumps on that shit like Mario. Bang! He just jumps on it. I mean, like, that shit is crazy. And, yeah, I mean, the woman also then eventually finds out that the diamond, actually, she never had the diamond in the first place. Matt gave them the fake diamond, which was, in fact, an orange candy that Kamala Khan's father had at his bank desk, like his bank teller desk. So anyways, after all this has happened, the police arrested all the robbers, and that one dude's probably like laying somewhere in like an alleyway, beaten up. We see Matt and Kamala's father, Yusuf Khan, just kind of chilling, and they're talking. He's like, you're still not getting that loan. And Matt's like, yeah, I understand, man. And they start talking, and he's like, Matthew, you should come over for dinner with me and my family. Especially Kamala. You have to meet Kamala. And yeah, Matt's like, sure, sure. And I mean, like, Matt then leaves. He's like, have a nice day, sir. And he leaves with one of the candies, like one of the orange candies. And after he leaves, Mr. Khan, he looks into the candy jar and the candy bowl, and he's like, huh. And he picks up the diamond. And I mean, that's basically where the episode ends. But I mean, this episode, to be honest, this episode might have been a little bit lackluster compared to the past couple episodes. But I mean, still, it had the action, it had good character development with Matt, and it basically just kind of connected Daredevil to the broader MCU universe with Miss Marvel. And I mean, like, this episode in general was actually really good. I mean, I love this episode. This episode is banging. I mean, like, but next episode, be sure to watch that video because episode 6, oh boy, it is a banger episode. But anyways, I'm loving the show so far, and wow. That's all I gotta say. Wow, the show has not disappointed. It might not be as good as Daredevil, the Netflix show, but it's still a worthy successor, man. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the episode 6 recap, which, I mean, episode 6 was a banger, so be sure to check that video out. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.